I want to speak English, but words don't come out of my mouth. Right? You may be thinking that this happens to me, this happens to you, and this happens to all the people who are beginners, who are struggling to speak English. They always think that I want to speak English, but words don't come out of my mouth. This is a very common problem because you understand English and you are able to speak English, but because you have never practiced, you have never, spoken to someone, so you fear. You fear speaking English. You can translate the sentences in your, from your mother tongue to English language, but you fear that I might make mistakes, or you are in the group of wrong people, where people speak English very fluently, and before you translate, they already speak everything. They speak English very fast. So guys, I believe that fear is not the right problem. The problem is that you are unable to speak. You have not done a lot of practice, and that's why you are afraid. You are afraid of making mistakes. Making mistakes is a very common thing. But start speaking 2, 3, 4 sentences. You can practice right in front of the mirror, or you can practice by recording your own videos. Record a video on a particular topic. Suppose you want to talk about your school. Hey, I want to talk about my school. My school's name is this, and there are 25 teachers, and there is a very strict principal. You can prepare a topic and record it and listen to yourself. Talk about your mom. Talk about a day. Suppose you want to talk about a day. Last day you went to a market, or you went to meet your friend, or you went to buy something. So you talk about your all day. This way you will be able to practice. So English will start coming out of your mouth. The problem is not words. The problem is not grammar. The problem is not that you cannot speak English. The problem is that you are afraid of speaking English. You want to speak, but words don't come out of your mouth. Or sometimes you say, sir, I forget the words. Oh, it happens to everyone. Because unless or until you speak one word at least 100 times, it will not become permanent. Vocabulary, your active vocabulary is less, but your passive vocabulary is enormous. You understand a lot of words, but you can't speak. But the right word does not come at the right time, because you are always, translating into your mother tongue. You are translating into, from your mother tongue to, English language, and translation is not the right way. Now I am talking to you. Am I translating? No, of course not. The same used to happen to me. When I was doing MBA in Delhi, there was one of my relatives, and she was from Delhi. And she was having a sister, and we were in a hospital, and she was speaking, fluent English, very impressive English. And I was a Hindi medium student. I was not able to speak. I was not able to create any sentence. Then I later on talked to her. She was almost 5-6 years older than me. And I talked to her, Didi, I was also able to speak English, and when you were talking to the doctor, I also wanted to say the same sentence, the sentence you said, but I could not speak. Why it happened to me? She told me it is all because of habit. You don't have a habit of speaking English. That's why you fear. You fear that the people will mind it. You yourself, become conscious that, I cannot speak English because people might laugh at me. I always spoke Hindi. If I speak English, people will laugh at me. People will look at my face. So, speaking English is not a problem. The problem is your embarrassment, your hesitation, your practice, and like I had mustache. Up till my graduation. I had mustache. Right? When I removed my mustache, it was very difficult for me to face the people. Why? Was it something wrong? Of course not. It was nothing wrong. But I was afraid of the change. The people might look at me with a surprising face. They might mock at me. They might talk about my mustache. They might, laugh at me, or I might become a laughing stock when people will look at me. But believe me, guys, within a week, everybody accepted me without my mustache. So, if you think that you cannot speak English, this is wrong. You can. You can speak English, and you can speak English naturally like your mother tongue. So start speaking. What are you waiting for? Nobody will ever motivate you to speak English with them. Nobody will handhold you. I'm already holding your hand, so you don't need any other support. Stay tuned and keep watching. Thank you.